welcome back, 12th Man family. The lights are on. The anthem is ready. And European football is back. Yes, the Champions League returns this week, and it's not just another campaign. It's one for the history books, certainly, because this one is certainly got a little bit extra flair to it for us, I guess you could say. And I'm hoping for better returns this year, as we lost to the eventual champions in last year's competition. But for the first time ever, 6 Premier League teams will line up in Europe's elite competition. That's unique in itself, considering there's only originally we're going to have 5, but we now have 6 involved in it, with the addition of the Europa champion in Tottenham. But Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City, Chelsea, Newcastle, and, like I said earlier, Spurs, true power block from England. It's the reward of consistency in UEFA's coefficient table and the added drama of, how would I even put it? It's like an added drama of the Europa competition now that it's set up the way it's set up. You know, the way that now Europa doesn't have teams from Champions League dropping down into the competition as another layer. Some of these things now make a real big difference in how and what you can expect from Europa and your opportunities, if not your expectations for the competition itself. So it's a really interesting twist to it. Spurs won last season's Europa League final against Manchester United, obviously. I am actually somewhat happy to hear that, as opposed to the other way around. That means English football is bringing its heaviest artillery into Europe. Now with the expected, especially with the way the Spurs took on this summer with transfers, but now with the expanded league phase format, 36 clubs, 8 fixtures each. The margins are razor thin. Top 8 go straight into the last 16. 9th through 24th battle in playoffs. And the rest, maybe next year. I don't have that clip. I wish I had that clip that they have at Coppish, where the girl's like, maybe next year. But yes, that's what ends up happening to them. No safety nets, no second chances. This is survival of the fittest. Squad depth will matter as much as star quality. So let's break down each Premier League side's openers, and we're going to start with Arsenal. But before we even begin that, let's bring in the Red Lantern, Mr. Lee Carlson. How you doing, Lee?
Cheers, mate. Very illuminated. The lantern's on full power, and ready to come and talk Turkey about my favourite club.
Nice. I appreciate that. Definitely. Shout out to some of the panelists that can't be here or aren't here yet, maybe. Shout out to Nolante. Shout out to JK. Shout out to Brian, Anfield Irishman. He might be live still now, but all the same, shout out. I was going to start off this segment with Arsenal. I know the game is already completed. They won 2-0. But what I was going to get into was what they had to look forward to in this game. I would think that Arsenal has shown progress in Europe. I'm not gonna lie. They had the quarterfinals in 2024. They had a semifinal in 2025. Mikel Arteta's project has evolved, and now they're aiming for the big step, the Champions League final. I don't think they're going to get there, honestly, but all the same, you'll have to see the members addition to get that little prognosis. But they open against, obviously, Athletic Club, side back in the competition for only the 3rd time in their history, after campaigns in 1998, 2014. Ernesto Valverde, in his 3rd stint managing his boyhood club, which is amazing, got them here by finishing 4th in La Liga. But this is no soft landing for the best. Athletic warned us that we will have to expect big things from this club, considering they have high expectations. However, their shock defeat to Alaves was something of a damaging blow. And the absence of Nico Williams is massive. Let's not get it twisted. He's an electrifying winger who has been linked with obviously Arsenal. There were more so links to Barcelona with it, but he is a really great talent. He has signed a massive deal to stay in Bilbao, Athletic Bilbao or Athletic Club. He signed a 10-year deal, so we can all, if you have hopes or aspirations of bringing in Nico, it's going to be very difficult. But with Nico's sideline, responsibility shifts to players like some players that you might not necessarily recognize in their attack. And that's the unique thing about it. His power and unpredictability will be crucial, but he can really unsettle Arsenal's back line, hopefully. Or I was hoping at least. That's obviously not the case. But Arsenal, meanwhile, made light work of obviously Forest at the weekend despite injury problems. They played with a swagger to suggest this squad is no longer fragile. Arteta now has rotation options without a noticeable drop in quality, which is essential in this new format. I originally had the prediction being 3-1 Arsenal over Athletic Club. It ended up being 2-0. I thought Arsenal's depth and control should prove to be too much for Valverde's side, especially without Nico. Lee, do you think that Arsenal's depth finally puts them into Europe's true elite this season, or do they still need another campaign to reach the likes of Liverpool, Madrid, those I guess you could say even PSG?
I think Arsenal will be a very dangerous side in the Champions League this season. They did well last year. PSG just played so well. The way they won the final was really noticeable. They knocked us out, knocked them out, knocked Villa out. But yeah, I think, they will be an opponent that a few clubs will fear because of the way they go about things, the way they took care of Real Madrid last season. It wasn't the greatest season for Real Madrid last season, but yeah, I think the signings they've made are good. The squad looks good to me. They look really strong. And that's okay because our squad does as well. We're not in bad shape either, but yeah, they look a strong team. And as far as the Champions League goes, I think they've got a real shot at it. Maybe getting one stage further than what they did last time out.
Well, one stage further is the final.
The final, isn't it? They got to the semi, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they've got a shout of getting to the final. Why not? I don't see that many other clubs that have as good as Summer, like across the continent. We have, but apart from us, I don't see that many other clubs that have had as good as Summer.
Okay. It is Thomas Frank's first Champions League game ever. It is, Hylor. Villarreal has just given him a leg up in that competition by giving an own goal, as you stated. I guess we could just hop on over to the Tottenham game since that is going on live now, and then we can kind of progress into the other games as well. I have today we're going to do basically I'm not analyzing all 36 teams, by the way. Again, that's it. I have a members episode that does that, but I do have a predictions consensus idea of what to expect in my perspectives for the 6 Premier League teams that are going to be involved in today's matchups. And today and tomorrow's actually matchups. So let's just go on to next up with Spurs. And I guess, this is a story that is very, very big for Spurs for those in North London and globally around the world, because they do have a global fan base. Thomas Frank, never a Champions League manager before, but today, as Hyler just mentioned, it's his first time at the gig, and he has hit the ground running. Three wins from 4 in the league, according to a dominant 3-0 victory over their London rival West Ham. And here's a stat that will surprise you. Spurs are unbeaten at home in their last 20 European games. Would you believe that, Lee?
No, actually, that's quite surprising as a statistic.
Yeah. When I was reading that, I was like, "Get out of here!" Let me double check. You know, it's impressive, very impressive. On the road, a little bit different story, but yes, they do well at home in Champions League, that is, or European games, I should say, as well. So that would include obviously Europa competitions. But their opponents, Villarreal, have pedigree. We all know that Villarreal is a team that has won Europa before as well. They reached the Champions League semis in 21-22. They finished 5th in La Liga last season. And history isn't against them. 14 games against English sides in this competition. History is against them. I said isn't, but is. They have 14 games against English sides. What would you guess is their record of wins?
You've lost most of them.
Yeah. It would be a big fat goose egg, basically, is what they've won against English sides. But these are familiar faces to watch.
Can I just say the biggest role they played in my mind when we weren't concerned was when they knocked Everton out. When we won the Champions League under Rafa in 2004-05, Everton had finished in the top 4 and we finished 5th. So Everton had to play a playoff and it was against Villarreal and they lost out. Narrowly, but they lost out. So that was a qualifier. That wasn't actually in the competition proper. That was just your qualifier to get into it. And Everton fans had a bad cob on about it, obviously. But we've had them twice, I think. There was the Champions League semi-final and in the Europa League we played them, I think, didn't we? When we were on the way to the final that time, when Klopp first arrived. Yeah.
Oh, Villarreal, you mean, or Champions?
Villarreal, yeah. The Yellow Submarines.
Yellow Submarine, yeah. It wasn't an easy fixture too, because I remember we actually had to do some work there. I'd have to let me see if I can find the last time we played Villarreal. But you're right. I do remember that game. That was when Hendo was our captain. Um, 2022.
Yeah, that's when the semi-final was. Yeah, it was Emery was their manager then, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was. That was a tricky one. Because I remember at least at Villarreal it was tricky. Because I want to say that we were up. Let me double check.
I think we went 2-0 up, didn't we? But they came back.
Yeah, I think we went up 2-0. And then they tied it. I think we went 2 up and then they tied it, I want to say.
Yeah, we were winning, I think, quite well from the first leg anyway before we went to Villarreal. And then I think we scored 2 goals, which looked like it killed them off, but they came back.
Oh, no, you know what? It's the other way around.
Oh, was it the other way around? We were away first.
They went up 2-0.
Right. Bloody hell.
Yeah. At Villarreal, they scored in the 3rd minute and the 41st minute. And then at halftime, we had, that's when we made our surge. We got 3 quick from the 62nd minute to the 74th minute, we got 3 goals in that little stint. And then all of a sudden the yellow cards started flowing. It was a really intense game. That's why I do distinctly remember that it was a very intense game. And Villarreal, it's a tough environment to play in too, by the way. Very tough environment to play. But yeah, let's see who try to see who scored for them. It was Lucho had the equalizer and Mane had the game winner in that one. Mane had the game winner. But it was big because at that time, I do remember too. So we'd won the first leg 2-0, I think, right? At Anfield, we won 2-0. We went into this thinking, okay, let's just hold it down. And then they went up 2-0 by halftime, and it's all of a sudden it's 2-2 on aggregate, and it's like anyone's game. And you're at Villarreal, and it's a whole different story. So it definitely made a difference. But fortunately for us, we have some real Fabinho, by the way. Technically, it was the game winner in essence, considering that his goal made it 2-1 and thus 3-2 in aggregate. So, and it was an away goal too. I think that was when away goals still counted too, by the way. I don't know if you remember that or not. They don't really count as they used to anymore, at least.
Yeah, they changed the rules,
But
didn't they? Summer.
Yeah. Do you like that change or no?
Not really, because I was used to the old way where away goals meant something, and that was actually a rule, so teams would be encouraged to try and score away from home. But things moved on; they've changed it now. But yeah, we've went out a few times that way, and went through a few times that way on away goals in the past.
What I was getting into, there are going to be some familiar faces in this match up today that you're watching, possibly the Villarreal Tottenham game. It is, like I said earlier, 1-0, but on goal. But it's the 22nd minute of that game. You'll see maybe Nicolas Pepe, once written off in England, by the way, obviously, but he was La Liga's Player of the Month, and he will also be joined by ex-Newcastle and Leicester player Perez, who scored 19 league goals last season. He also has history against Spurs, scoring winners at White Hart Lane in the past. But Thomas Frank will have to juggle through. We'll have to juggle, though. It was very, very interesting. Matthias Tell, who led the line last weekend, they didn't register him for Europe. I don't understand that completely. I didn't get a complete breakdown. It's not nearly as complex or related to the way that maybe Chiesa got left off of our lineup for Europe this year, being that it's homegrown and it's with like the fact that Rio is like a certain age and he hasn't played in professional format long enough to qualify for this or that. But Dominic Solanke out injured. I think let me see what the lineup was, because I originally thought Richarlison would start. He's been starting pretty much good bit of this for him, and he did get the start in this one. Though I do think that you will see, doesn't look like he got a start, but I do think you're going to see their high-priced transfer, Randall Kolo Muani, who was on loan from PSG. I think he's going to push for a debut today. I think you add in Xavi Simons, who did get a start. I see that right now. He's dazzled on his first start the weekend. Spurs attack is unpredictable, flexible, dangerous, some might say. I'll have to check that out too. I see Trudon's update. Oof. That's unfortunate. I might not be Trent's biggest fan at this moment with the way he forced his exit from Liverpool, but I wouldn't wish injury on him. I still have respect and appreciation for him. To not wish injury on him. But back to what I was saying. I have a prediction in this game. I have Spurs 2, Villarreal 0. Tottenham's balance between Frank's structure and I'd say maybe the home advantage of White Hart Lane is going to maybe be the difference maker in this one.
Yeah.
I have a 2-0. What's your score prediction in this one?
There's always the chance they could do something Spursy, even though there's a new man at the helm who seems to have a better grasp of how to defend. There's always the chance that they could go 3-0 up and then it could end up 3-3. But I think the most obvious result from this point of them being 1-0 up would be 2-0 win to Spurs. They'll keep a clean sheet.
Ha ha ha. Big up, JK in the house.
Hey, bless, bro.
JK.
Bless, Lee. How you cool, bro?
Good to hear you, mate.
Yes, another scores real quick. Benfica is up 2-0 in that game early. It's the 28th minute of that game over Qarabag.
PSV are getting a spanking in Eindhoven, aren't they, off Union St. Gilloise? And McAllister's brothers scored one of the goals.
Yeah, that's game.
Brian said before, on his stream, he said it's 3-0. I said, as McAllister's brother scored, and he had indeed.
Ended up 3-1.
Yeah.
They PSV got a goal late from Van Bommel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I was going to give a proper, since I am a little biased, shout out to Tim Weah. Big up. 1-0 over Real Madrid. Marseille is leading that game. Greenwood got the assist, as Hyler said, but still more important and more noteworthy because I don't care about Greenwood, and that is Tim Weah.
No, it's a great goal for him. It's score at the Bernabeu, you know what I mean? It's something special, isn't it? This is a great scoreline, and long may it continue.
It's in Madrid. They said that. Let me see. They also said that I saw that in the Showdown, and Hylor gave some updates saying that that Trent went off injured in this game. He did. And it's early. He went off. By the way, he went off in the 5th minute, so that's not good. That's something usually that happens in the 5th minute, so early in the game. That might be something that was kind of lingering, because you normally don't. You're normally warmed up by that time. You should be properly warmed up by that time. Trent Alexander-Arnold got the start in this game. Carvajal has joined the pitch at the 5th minute for him as he went off injured. Just not good, not at all. But Trudon says that Madrid are getting ripped to shreds. That is good to see, and I'm glad to hear that. Marseille. Let's get another one, Timmy.
We've got to play Marseille as well, don't we? Yeah.
We do, yeah. Got to go away to Marseille, haven't we?
I said about Marseille, they're gonna have rampant fans. They're gonna be loud, man.
Oh, one of the best stadiums in Europe, I think.
Yeah. We had that great win there, didn't we? Under Rafa in the black kit with Torres, Gerrard, Eto'o. But before that, I remember we went there in the UEFA Cup when Drogba still played for Marseille, and Drogba just ended us in that game. He scored twice, but like we just couldn't handle them in that game, Drogba, and we went out the UEFA Cup like very easily that season.
Yeah, I think it's the Velodrome, right? I have a friend that is she's from that region of France, and she lives here now in America, and that's her team, and she's like given graphic, recollections of going to the games and just being, and excited. I like this. I don't speak French.
Probably the French ground with the most atmosphere. I think it'd be right in saying it's the French ground like that. Has got an intimidating atmosphere compared to the others. I don't know. PSG's improved now that they've become a bigger club, but that was one place you didn't want to go in that regard years ago, because of like the noise from the crowd.
Dominic has the score up for the Real Madrid game right now. It's 1-1. They just got a Kylian Mbappe goal from a penalty. So it is 1-1. But it is definitely a unique place to play for sure. Did you want to get a score? What was that?
So unique place to score. That'll be one of the when he looks back on his career. Tim Weir, scoring at the Bernabeu will be one of those probably best memories, I would imagine.
It will be. It will be. It will be. Tim Weah is a very interesting individual too, by the way, in that he used to, obviously his dad is prolific, but I know Charlie Davies asked him a question and asked him, because he plays winger for U.S. men's national team. He was like, oh, well, would you maybe want to play central like your dad, or maybe just solidify yourself as a forward option? And he's like, no, actually, he's like, with my game and the way that Europe is structured and the likes, he's like, I see myself eventually being a wing back. And I'm like, not many players that are playing up front and playing in a forward position tend to say, oh, I foresee myself playing a more defensive-minded, or at least a subdued role as a wingback. Even though wingbacks do get offensively involved, I'm just saying though they do have defensive duties that are more structured than the forwards do. So it is what it is. By the way, Benfica is up 2-1 now over Karabakh. 2-1 in that game. Juventus and Dortmund still 0-0 in that game. And Tottenham are still at 1-0. Before we go to our next team, JK, did you want to get a score prediction
for tomorrow?
No, for this game, for the Tottenham game. I think
I would say.
What did you say?
2-1, maybe.
2-1. Okay. And Lee, what was your score again?
For Spurs, 2-1.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Another 2-1.
Is that what you said originally?
Well, no, I put forward the idea of them doing something Spursy and going 3-0 up and then it being 3-3. But I'll go with 2-1. That's the safer option.
I see how it is. Yeah, you get the star pupil in the house, JK. You start cheating off his papers. Oh, that's not good. All right, we get you. I'll ask you this before we bounce into the next team. JK, has this Spurs team finally evolved past the Kane, the Harry Kane shadow that has lingered over this team as being, they're one and only. I know that some will definitely argue for Son, but one of their main, superstars, or will their lack of a world-class finisher still hold them back in Europe's biggest stage?
Well, for me, Kudos is a top signing for them. They got Savi's, they got Simmons in. Mm-hmm. They went for what's his name from Forest, Gibbs White, and I think if they got him, then I would have to come in because he's a good little player, Gibbs White. So
Not playing
for me,
well this year.
Richarlison.
Yes, I agree.
Say again, bro.
I said he's not playing that great this year so far, but
Yeah, not this year, but last season he was like one of the
last
best
season,
players of the season.
yeah,
Even Man City were rumored to be interested in stuff.
Yeah,
But like for me,
absolutely.
Tottenham this season they got Richarlison up front tonight, bro. He's like I seen his overhead kick he did the other week, top goal. You know what I mean? Like he's too inconsistent.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with Tottenham. And I would say Arsenal as well over the years, having a top striker. Man United, another one. We've sort of got away with it. Like we had Darwin and stuff, but we got away with it with Salah and stuff like that. But like Tottenham, Man United, Chelsea even, having a top striker up top, that's sort of let them down over the years. And I think that's Tottenham's sort of could be their downfall. For them not to win maybe anything. They've got a good little team, but they're beatable. I would say that.
Okay.
But they've got a good little manager now. I like their manager. I think Frank, he's down to earth sort of manager. You know what I mean? He ain't like wearing a suit and tie sort of type of guy. He's very down to earth. Maybe go and watch a Sunday league match on Sunday. You know what I mean? That type of guy. And I think that's why he will do well at a club like Tottenham. I think they need to be brought back down to earth as well. I think London clubs, they're very hyped. They think they own football and they deserve to be the winners of the Premier League and Champions League. It's like, no, you should be looking at even participating, really. So that's the thing, anticipation. Every London club thinks they're the bee's knees. And what it is, expectations are high there from London. London is a big city. It's a way of life there. So they're going to think the same for their team. Have you ever heard any Chelsea fans, the way they go on?
Yeah.
Like they think they're bloody Real Madrid.
Yeah,
So,
they are a bit like that, aren't they, Chelsea fans?
Yeah, of course. That's why Liverpool, for me, the best club in the world.
There you go. All right. Well, quickly, I'll give the updates again. 2-0 Arsenal over Athletic Club. 3-1 USG over PSV. That game was at PSV, by the way. And Arsenal won 2-0 on the road. I think them not having Nico Williams certainly helped them in that game, but still all the same, it's 2-0. It is 1-0 Tottenham over Villarreal at home. Juventus and Dortmund. Juventus is home in that game, and they're still a 0-0 draw. Benfica is still up 2-1. Excuse me, I almost said 2-1 over Karabakh. It is 1-1 in the Real Madrid Marseille 37th minute of that game. And now let's do the pleasure of moving on to Wednesday. Let's do that Wednesday walk early and speak on another London team, most notably Chelsea. Chelsea faced the nightmare draw of Bayern Munich away. I think it's a nightmare draw because Bayern Munich at home is a different beast. Their arena has been certainly a fortress. Bayern are unbeaten, and why I said it's a nightmare for Chelsea, and that's because Bayern are unbeaten in 34 straight home Champions League phase games, by the way, not the knockout stages, but the league phase games. They are 34-0, or 34 wins or draws at least. They've never lost they haven't lost in 34 matches at home. That means that you would have to go back to a long time. I'll say that. Like, I'll let JK. When do you think is the last time they lost at home? What year do you think it was? Just give a guess. Maybe not. Or Lee. I'll go to Lee because I can't see whether you guys are on mute.
When was the last time you were saying? What year? Yeah.
Yes.
I would say 2012.
Okay.
No. That's a bit. No, let's go 2010. Let's go to 2010. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What would you say, Lee? When's the last time Bayern Munich lost a league phase game in Champions League, a Champions League phase game at home?
2009.
Okay. I like your Price is Right style.
Yeah, I just thought it.
$1. I'll go $1. No, the Price is Right. When you think everyone's overbid, you go for $1, and that means you probably end up getting it no matter what. 2002 was the answer we're looking for.
Hell. I knew I was on the right track with going earlier, but 2002. That's big buying though. They don't lose a lot, like.
Yeah,
they're not the traditional Bayern Munich. Like, I just think the manager isn't great. I don't know, God knows how he got that job. Maybe it was his documentaries he was doing for Burn when he was Burnley manager, shouting out all the players. He actually ended up arguing one of the guys, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
One of the players. But I've seen that video, and I'm thinking, it's mad that Bayern Munich went for him. I didn't really understand it. He won the league last season. They got the best team, ain't they? So it's like that. Yeah, but Bayern Munich not as strong as they traditionally are for me.
Okay.
As long as they beat Chelsea, I wouldn't mind that.
You got to admit, though, that Bayern Munich, and this is to Lee and to JK, you got to admit, because I know JK watches a lot of Bundesliga, but I know Lee is at least Bayern Munich is one of those teams that you do recognize their squad or the depth of their squad simply because they're usually involved in Europe in one way or another. But Harry Kane is still scoring at will. They now have my beloved Colombian, Luis Diaz, and he's hit the ground running for them, scoring in the Super Cup and scoring in league competitions for them as well. They have the $138 million man, possibly, is what they're apparently pricing him at. Mr. Michael Olise. Michael Olise, who looks to have been transformed by joining Bayern from Crystal Palace. Certainly an upgrade, as in the level of prestige in the club. 3 goals and assist already. That's what Michael Olise has. And the way he shredded Leipzig has people asking, is this his leap to superstardom? That's a very big question. Olise left Chelsea. I think Olise used to be in Chelsea's academy at 14. Imagine what's going through his mind right now. Maybe a little bit like that "look at me now" type concept, in this game coming up. I have this predicted at being Bayern, still all the same. I have this being predicted as Bayern 2, Chelsea 1. Bayern just had too much firepower though for Chelsea. Palmer has been hot or cold for Chelsea, but we'll see if he gives them any type of spark. But I seriously do think it will be Bayern win. What would you have it at in this game, by the way, JK?
I will go Bayern 3-2.
Okay.
Yeah. I think there'll be goals.
Okay. Lee?
Who they playing? I forgot.
Bayern Munich, Chelsea, bro.
Oh, Chelsea. Okay. God. I'm going to go for a Bayern win. I'm going to go for a slight 2-1 win for Bayern.
Okay. All right. Looking on my paper this time. It's all good. Anyway, I got you. Lee. I'll say this, Lee. Do you think that Chelsea made a catastrophic error in letting Olise go from their system, or does this match serve as a reminder of what they were missing. And not even Chelsea. I would say even Crystal Palace more so. Because Chelsea lets the way they treat their youth academy players and the way that they go about handling their talents with these death row contracts. That's a different story. But do you think maybe Chelsea, but more so Crystal Palace, are now seeing that it was an error to let go Elise, is possibly an error to let go Eze? Now they're talking about possibly letting go, allowing for Gehi to leave on a free, and and the likes. What is your diagnosis of that?
It's a thing Chelsea are quite well known for, isn't it? Like maybe not treating their young players so well. And even signings, players who come in from abroad. But he did actually come from abroad, didn't he? Say, but Salah got nothing there. Did he? De Bruyne got nothing there, and Gay was there as well as a youngster, wasn't he? But, I don't know. Yeah, they're probably sorry now. Like they've got a decent team now, Chelsea. I do want to see Bayern beat them, though, that final, like, where they come back at the end, and then bloody pens. Oh, God. That done me head in big time, that. Bayern have got that atrocious record against English clubs in finals. I've seen 3 of them now, and they've lost every one. We weren't involved, though. We weren't at the scene of the crime, although we did beat them in the 81 semi-final. But they've not had much luck after they've had loads of great results against British teams, like in group stages, knockout stages, but the big one at the end of it, the final, like 3 times they've faced English clubs and 3 times they've lost. There seems to be a bit of a curse on them there, like.
Yeah. What about for you, JK? Do you think it's been more so than Chelsea? I mean, you can comment on what Chelsea does if you want about their youth academy players, the way they, loan them out, the way that they, connect a lot of their talents, even to their big name talents, to these high profile contracts of 8, 7, 8, 9, 10-year contracts. But more so Crystal Palace. Do you think Crystal Palace is maybe regretting letting go so much of their talent? Or do you think they will regret it? Let's see if JK is with us. Well, I'll ask that to the chat then. I don't know if JK is available at the moment. I'll ask that to the chat. You can tell me. I think that I don't know what Crystal Palace is doing, to be honest with you. Imagine if Crystal Palace, and this is just my honest perception, and Lee, you can push back if you think I'm off base. But a Crystal Palace with a Eze, a Mateta, a Elise, you could have Wharton in the middle. You'd have Gehi, Chris Richards. Got to give a shout out to the U.S. men's national team player. As your center half duo. I think that's a great spine of a club. That's a club that could possibly even contend for a European place. Now, I'm not saying Champions League, but I am saying certainly Europa, if not Champions Conference League. Or I said Champions. I meant Europa Conference League. I think they could compete, and especially now with the coefficient being so broad, in the sense of us getting five teams in. The sense of that means that 7 teams in general will go to Europe, and in this case, I think there's at least possibly, if not 7, could be 8 teams going. What is your perspective on that? Is that a little bit maybe too ambitious, too optimistic to see them be in that case? I think that Crystal Palace, especially with their coach involved that they have.
Yeah. No, same here, mate. I think that their name's pretty much on this Conference League. It's going to take a good side to pop up and deny them. West Ham won it, Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea obviously last year with the massive squad they had, but I mean, Chelsea didn't even play their first team, did they, until probably the final? So, you know what I mean? I think Crystal Palace can easily win this, and it'd be a good thing. It'll qualify them for the Europa League, which I'm in favour of. Like, I want them to do well as an English club, and it puts that FIFA coefficient up, doesn't it? It gives us 5 places, and I wish there were 5 places a few times in the past when we've missed out and finished 5th. But it's a good thing in general for the league. So I could see them winning it easily. Like, not easily, but I can see them winning it. He won the Europa League, didn't he, with Frankfurt, Glasner. So I can't see why he can't win the Conference League with Crystal Palace. No reason at all.
Yep. Yeah, Crystal Palace was supposed to be in the FA Cup. In Europa this year, but because even though they won the FA Cup, it is now a different set of circumstances for them because they have their owner has some type of involvement with another team involved in that competition. They deemed them as the being a multi-club team or ownership group. They even though that, which is wild, and this is all because of Nottingham Forest's efforts to get them out of Europa at least. What happened was a lot of the Forest wrote a letter and everything else, and complaining about it, demanding that there be justice and the likes. Even though the owner of the team the owner's not even a majority owner of the other club. He's a minority owner. So it's not like he has some, vested say in what happens and what goes on, but they still connected as being a multi. I know Smokey doesn't like that. But it's all good.
Does the other one bark much, JK? What's the other dog called?
Nah, the other one's Sam, bro. Sin, her name. Yeah, she's cool.
Jack Russell. Is it Jack Russell, I think, or something like that?
Yeah,
right?
Jack Russells are cool.
Yeah, my mate had one when I was a kid. It was called Jack, obviously. It was very noisy. Jack was very noisy.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing, I suppose. Yeah, we like Jack the dog.
Yeah.
Take him down the beach and that.
I'll quick tangent. Yeah, they often say that you're supposed to name your dogs two syllable names. That's what they suggest that because the audible hearing or the sensors in the dog's ear can pick up a 2-syllable word better than just a single syllable word. I don't know. Something that I learned along my dog whisperer ways. So I love dogs. So, yeah. All right. So I got 3-2, 2-1, 2-1 in this game. We'll see how it goes for Chelsea in Germany. We'll just definitely see how it goes. I don't know how it's going to unwind for them, but we were just talking also about Crystal Palace and about how Crystal Palace, I believe, truthfully, has done themselves a disservice. There's talks of, and I'll mention this name simply because he's not a part of any European he's not part of any, at least Champions League game. He's right now taking place at, let's see, I gave the update earlier. Ringlets scored for him, by the way. His first goal for Villa, as Villa have gone up 1-0 in the League Cup game.
Excellent.
Yeah,
well done,
excellent.
Harvey.
But there has been, I saw that if Emery can't pull it together, possibly, and he does get the sacking, or if Amram gets the sacking, and maybe they will try to approach Emery as a coach, as the next coach for United. It should be interesting. I definitely had it as Glasner being possibly the choice that they would go for, as he is certainly done. He's made lemonade out of lemons from Crystal Palace as they continue to strain some of the top talent that they have in their team. But we're at halftime too, by the way, in all the games that are taking place right now. Halftime, 1-0 Tottenham, still 0-0 in Juventus Dortmund. Benfica is still up 2-1, and Real Madrid Marseille is still 1-1, by the way, at halftime. The glass near, I would say the glass near half empty. You don't have to even put the is. Glass near half empty, like near. Get it? I'm not as good as Red Archer supporter in my one-liners, but definitely.
Best of, bro. I'm saying, how you cool, bro? AR as well.
So the next game that I have on the docket here would be, I think, possibly, separate from our game, possibly the most intriguing game on the docket for Wednesday. That's, again, our game is the most intriguing because for what we have, which is our loyalty to our team. But Manchester City versus Napoli. That's going to be pure theater.
De Bruyne.
Exactly. KDB returns to the Etihad, but not in his baby blue.
That's going to be weird.
That's going to be weird. Exactly how I see it. So I'm like, after a decade of brilliance, 6 Premier League titles, a Champions League crown, by the way, he's now the centerpiece of Napoli's rebuild. This could be his only visit, by the way, as an opponent, because who knows what will happen next year if they get Manchester City as a draw, or if it ends up being a draw that has them going to City at all. But emotions will run high. Napoli are Serie A champions. They're cleverly built, by the way. They have former United, I would say, man of their team, forgotten man, maybe even neglected man of Manchester United, Scott McTominay, who is Serie A Player of the Year. They have Rasmus Højlund, who's now part of their mix. And for those that hate on Højlund, Højlund did score. He did score on his debut last weekend, by the way. They've got grit and energy to support De Bruyne's creativity. City's record in this competition has dipped. They've been knocked out by Real Madrid in back-to-back years, including a knockout playoff fixture last season. They have Haaland, who has 49 goals and 48 Champions League appearances. That's phenomenal. He could break Van Nistelrooy's 50-goal mark faster than anyone in history. But City have injury concerns. Villarreal is like, I'm hoping he can get it together since I have him on my fantasy team. Not for this Champions League game, I don't care. But like Villarreal, especially since City will be playing Arsenal, by the way. But Villarreal, Foden, Savinho, all could return. But Kovacic and Cherki remain sidelined. For Napoli, Lukaku's absence for some might be seen as a big deficit. For others, some aren't that big of Lukaku fans. I get that. But in Italy, he does, and with the Italy teams, at least, he does do exceptionally well. Miguel Gutierrez returns to strengthen their defense. I'm going to go with A, I'm gonna go with a 3-2 upset at City. Call it bold, I get it, but Napoli's energy plus De Bruyne's revenge story makes this one feel like an upset in the making. I think that it's Conte that's Napoli's coach, I believe, right?
Yeah.
I just think that you're dealing with a good coach. Dealing with he has a good team constructed with what he believes is the components that he needs, and I just think City have a false. I'm thinking booster from beating a Manchester United squad that was just absolutely horrific in that game. So
I'm torn between two positions, like over this result. Ordinarily, I'd like Man City to lose every single game we fucking play, but because they're playing Arsenal at the weekend, maybe a victory for them against Napoli would be good. So when they get to Arsenal, like they're in good condition mentally, that they've come off the back of two good wins. Normally, I just want them to lose really badly, but I think with the Arsenal game on the horizon, I prefer a City win so they can have some semblance of confidence when they arrive at the Emirates.
Yeah, I agree with that. I can agree with that. That's how I was kind of looking at it too. Maybe some grounding in them would be nice, and then have them, squeak out a draw at the Emirates would be fine with me. I'm not looking for them to beat Arsenal. Just looking for a draw from them against Arsenal. But in this game, it's a weird one. It's a weird one.
Well, it's an early season chance for someone to take points off Arsenal if City are on it. When the day arrives and Pep comes up against his old cohort and his pupil, that he can get one over on him for our sake, that'd be lovely. So yeah, I wouldn't mind him beating Napoli and then losing every single one of their last remaining Champions League group games and going out really amusingly.
Okay. But then what do you have to score then, Breeden?
Well, if it's what I want, I'd say City when they're good. I'd say like City 3-1 if they were to be good on the night. But I think what'll happen is it'll be like a score draw. I think it'll be a score draw.
Oh, you think it'll be what?
Actually, it could be a 0-0 with Conte there, couldn't it? He loves 0-0s, Conte. It's an interesting match, him and Guardiola, isn't it? Yeah, I'll go for the score draw. I'll say it's 1-1. I won't dare predict any more goals than that because Conte's the manager of one of the teams.
Okay.
I reckon a Desmond, bro, 2-2.
Desmond.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Shout out to Crab. He just mentioned that they will be doing a watch along for the game tomorrow, so be sure to tune in to his channel, Bayesian Reds representing. JK, does KDB's return, you think, inspire Napoli to shock City?
Of course.
There's a 2-2. That would still be a shocker. Or do you think Pep's machine proves to be too clinical? Pep's, Terminator up front will be too clinical on this emotional night. Because I'm actually interested how they will. I'm interested to see how City responds to KDB returning.
Yeah, they're going to be respectful, bro. It ain't going to be
Yeah,
booze or nothing like that. So it's going to be a nice atmosphere for him, I reckon.
And real quick, sorry to interrupt you. I was just going to ask this additional question. What player has City really lost and then had to face in a major competition? I mean, what I mean by like the level of a Guerrero or obviously a KDB that went on to another team. Because I don't think that Gundogan. I think even
Aguero went to where did Aguero go after we finished?
No, he retired after you finished.
He retired, didn't he? So like for me, KDB first game Champions League back home to Man City is a mad one. It's gonna be interesting. But I feel because KDB was such a big player there, he's gonna play good.
Right.
Sane red armchair, yeah.
I guess.
Sure,
I guess. I don't know if he was like a. I would probably say Sterling maybe before Sane, but because Sane left kind of under disgruntled terms, He didn't leave under the best circumstances. I thought that he was like at odds with Pep and some of his
you're right there.
And some of the reasons why they were at odds was because of his actual I'm gonna say energy, but his professionalism and his commitment to really giving his all for City was that question in Pep's eyes, at least. But I'm trying to think of another player. Gundogan played for Dortmund, right? He went back to. Didn't he go back to Dortmund? No, he went to. Wait, where did Gundogan go back to? I just called up his.
He went to Barcelona, didn't he?
Barcelona, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gundogan went to Barcelona. That could have been a big one. I don't know if they faced. Barcelona didn't face City though. I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
And Dortmund, he was at Dortmund before he went to City, so that doesn't count. He's at Galatasaray. They're not going to play them. We're going to play them.
That's our next game after this one tomorrow.
Oh, Mahrez maybe. I'm really trying to think of a player because Mahrez is in Saudi Arabia now.
Cancelo?
Yeah, but again, Cancelo is one of those players that's like left on bad terms, and a lot of the times, especially with City, they side with Pep and his feelings towards the player as opposed to, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't. Cancelo's a good shout because he's a phenomenal player. I can't think of any. It's just a thought. It's just a side thought.
It is an interesting quirk of the fixtures that the first game that De Bruyne has outside of Italy is against Man City.
Yeah, that's just mad.
It's a mad one, isn't it? Like, but like I said, I'm more in favour of City winning so they can turn up at Arsenal fully prepared, mentally as well as anything else. And maybe they'll have a couple of players back as well.
So you're saying you're more thingy of Arsenal than City in the title race, yeah?
Yeah, at this point, it takes something. Okay. They're already 6 points behind us, and I don't want to tempt fate, but it doesn't look brilliant for them. I don't think they'll be as bad as they were last season. That ain't going to happen. But it's Arsenal that worry me, yeah. So to get a victory, 2 in a row against your derby rival, and then a decent Champions League rival, that would be good from my point of view. So they could try and get something out of the Arsenal game. And it's about time
a draw there would be nice.
They'll get something out of the Arsenal game.
A draw or a City win? Because they're 6 points behind anyway.
I don't think that Olympiacos. I was going to say maybe Yaya Toure. He left in bad terms too, but he went to Olympiacos. I'm still trying to think of my question. I'm still trying to come up with an answer for my earlier question.
Sometimes doesn't it? You think of something and then you.
Yeah, what is this? So with what we're trying to equate it to is KDB is about to make the return to the Etihad. Can you name another City player as prolific and as beloved by the fan base as a KDB to have to make a return as a opposition player?
No, I don't think there is anybody as loved as KDB. I think he is the main man for City fans, isn't he? Since the takeover, he's like the one player they've had the all absolutely venerate. So no is the obvious answer to that. Like, I don't think they've had a player like this coming back before, especially so soon as well, because he is like the main man for their fans, isn't he? And so he should be. He was a fabulous player. Like, it was a pleasure to watch him work. It's a shame it was against us a lot of the time. Like, but yeah, he was a great player.
A Liverpool fan too, as well.
Yeah, I didn't know that until relatively late in his Man City career, or late enough anyway. And apparently it was down to Michael Owen. He liked Michael Owen when he was a kid, didn't he?
Yeah, very similar. That's one of my favorite players growing up. But also, I would say, KDB, Manchester United, and Chelsea, or went to Chelsea, obviously. I think Manchester United were interested in him, but didn't end up getting him. Would have been nice if we gotten him. He's best friends, or one of his best friends is Virgil van Dijk as well. They do holidays together as a family, or not them technically as a family, but they had their families do holidays together, by the way. And make sure I don't get clipped up for that. And that was just my question. I can't think of another player that we've had to, because we'll have Trent Alexander, love him or hate him, if he's fit at least. We will have Trent Alexander-Arnold, a club legend in my eyes still, but a club legend, returning to Anfield. That's a huge, huge deal. I'm just asking, is there, I know, boo, I got you. Settle down. I get it. No one likes to hear that name. But seriously, I think that he is a big name that is returning to Anfield, and that brings more interest and more attention to the fixture. I don't think this has ever happened before I don't think it's ever happened to City. They've got a short history of utilizing some historical equation of players, but I don't think there's anyone. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I was hoping maybe that someone in the chat might have come up with an answer.
City have had some players that were legendary for them, but obviously there's been nothing like De Bruyne, has there? Because the number of years he was like the best player in their side. I mean, you could argue that he wasn't the best player in the side, that it was someone at a different position, but for most of the world, De Bruyne was their best player, wasn't he? Like, and he pulled the strings. So, it's going to be a weird one for City fans. I hope they support him in that, especially if he scores. I hope they cheer him for a laugh. I would. If I was a City fan and he scored, I'd still cheer him, mate. I would not boo him for scoring.
I don't know about that. But anyway, all right. Because if Trent scores against us, I don't think I'm cheering.
Yeah, I'm not there. We're running after him.
I know. Don't think I'm doing that one. And I go.
I knew that one.
But
Oh,
all
come on.
good.
There must at least be a few people who'd find it funny to applaud him if he scored against them in that vast fan base that City has. There might be a couple of weirdos like who'd find it amusing.
You know what's going to be funny there? You'll see. Imagine you see City fans shouting at him. In games how it is. Like opposition players, everyone starts booing them or having a go at them and stuff like that. I wonder if any fans will have a go at KDB in the game. That'd be mad if it does. Right, you don't want him to score and stuff, but yeah.
I do want to.
Show a bit of respect, you know what I mean?
I bet you after all this, he's not in the starting side.
Yeah.
I hope he is.
And Steve and Ireland are City legends. They only have about 5. Yeah. If you listen to Big Steve or some of those other Manchester trying to think of the other one.
Rodney Marsh, he played for them once.
Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Francis Lee.
Yeah.
He was good in Francis Lee.
Okay.
Really good player. He's probably their best player that I can. He was before my time, but I know he was really good. Francis
Niall
Lee.
Quinn. Remember Niall Quinn?
Yeah. Remember Sean Gotha?
Yeah, Sean Gotha. Yeah.
Paul
Premier League
Dickov.
legends. It's all Premier League
Paul
legends.
Dickov, yeah.
Paul Dickov, legend, mate, legend.
From Arsenal.
All right. Well, let's get on to the darling of some of our fan base, or at least some of the audience that joins us on this channel. Their secret darling of a club, and that is Newcastle versus Barcelona. Newcastle's reward for returning to Champions League, one of La Liga's best. And Eddie Howe's men know tough draws are what they've had to face with. Carluca, okay. It's tough to figure out some names on that list, by the way. A lot of the players, they tend to end up for City, they tend to end up going on to clubs that are like Saudi. I wonder why, by the way. Anyway, but you have to remember, if you're Newcastle, you had PSG, you had Milan, you had Dortmund last time, all difficult draws. This one isn't any easier. Barca are rampant in La Liga. They have 13 goals in 4 games. They are unbeaten. They just dismantled Valencia 6-0 with Lewandowski, Rafinha, and Lopez all bagging braces in that game. You have Lewandowski. Even though he's 37 years old, he still looks ageless when it comes to football. Maybe, I don't know if it's the water or whatever. Maybe he's drinking some Poland water or something like that. But he's still looking young at heart. Flick has rested him at the weekend to have him sharp for this game. Now you have the bright young star from Germany who scored 1-0 in his debut, leading the line for Newcastle. But replacing Isak is a major challenge, and this game will show if he's ready for the challenge or ready for that level or not. To be honest with you, it's an early cast by fire situation, because Barcelona may miss Yamal with a back issue, which will be a very big miss for Barcelona. But they spread their goals obviously across their attacks. So this isn't a team that is Yamal just so needing of Yamal to score for them. They have other aspects that can bring about success for them. And even without the prodigy, this team is relentless. Barcelona is a very talented team. So Barcelona in this game, I have it being, I was going to go 2-1, but I'm going to go 3-1. not because I don't like Newcastle. I just think that I'm thinking that Newcastle is going to really see some difference makers in this, and most notably this guy right here. Brentford has just tied it up 1-1, by the way, in that cup match. But yeah, Champions League scorers, Robert. You can see Robert Lewandowski, 105 goals. He's nearly double the
Is
closest.
he really 37 now? So
37 years old.
fucking hell. Didn't realise that. I mean, when he moved on to Barcelona, like I wondered, if he could keep it going, but he's proven his evergreen credentials, isn't he? Like with the goals he's scoring.
Yep, incredibly enough, he's a pretty incredible talent considering, he got a lot of shtick for leaving Dortmund to go to obviously one of their biggest rivals in Bayern Munich, and then for him to somewhat force his way out of Bayern Munich to go to, prove his worth, prove his merit at Barcelona. I thought was a exceptional thing. I get it. You can say what you want about the way that he got his exit. But yeah, he just turned 37 in August. Just turned 37. He's had a great career, and he's still adding to it. That's the incredible thing about it, is that he's still playing so well that he's adding to it. But you see that record right there. Look at those numbers right there. Look at those numbers. Those are the top goal scorers. We have Erling Haaland that's trying to break into the 50 mark. This is the top 10 active players, by the way. This isn't all time in a sense. This is just active players. 105 goals this player has. The closest active player is Kylian Mbappe at 55. That's exceptional. Absolutely exceptional. He's my player to watch, by the way, too. I did have
I would actually
players.
like to come across Barcelona in this year's Champions League, either on the way to the final or in the final, because we haven't played them for a while, and they are a team that we have a good record against, a very good record against.
Yeah. And that's obviously Champions League scorers. That's what that is right there. Champions League. Great player. Great player. Yeah, definitely underrated. That time that he had when he set one of those scoring barrages of I think it was at Bayern Munich. Like it was surprising for him not to have won a Ballon d'Or that year. I don't think he won the Ballon d'Or that year, at least. That was the era of Messi and Ronaldo. CR7. But yeah. All right. So 1-1, 2-2. I'm going with 3-2. Manchester City losing this one. We're on, let's say that was Newcastle. Now we're on to Newcastle and Barcelona. I have this being, I was going to say 2-1. Now I'm going to go 3-1. I'm feeling that it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot for it. It's going to be a lot. Maybe I should. I'll stick with 2-1. I'll stick with 2-1. Go with your gut, right? Go with your gut. 2-1. Newcastle will fight, but Barcelona's firepower should see them through in this one. What do you guys have it at?
I've got a Newcastle win for that. Don't know where that comes from, but I've got a Newcastle win somehow.
Okay. What's Newcastle's score then?
They are at home, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's the crucial thing. I'll say Newcastle can win 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
I would say 3-2 Barcelona.
3-2 Barcelona. Okay.
I am, of course, imagining that Newcastle still have Faustino Asprilla in their squad/team. No, I think they might get a win. I doubt it, but anyway, I'll back them for a win. Newcastle.
Yep. Okay, so real quick, just give us your score prediction. I know you have to go, JK, so just give your score prediction for the Liverpool game.
Liverpool 3-1.
3-1 Liverpool. All right. Big up on joining today, by the way. I appreciate it.
No worries, bro. Have a good show. And you, Lee, as well, bro.
Night, Jay. See you, mate.
Got JK in here at 3-1. All right.
Newcastle have got a little bit of confidence from winning one game at least in the relatively recent past. So maybe they get a result against Barcelona. Who knows?
Yeah. Hash as it being 4-0 Barca. Wow, that's a rout. 3-1 says you never walk alone, fans TV. Okay. All right. Well, let's move on. Let us move on. Liverpool versus Atlético Madrid. This is now the big one for all of us. It's under the lights at Anfield. Liverpool stormed through the league phase last year. Our only stumble being the one that we had at PSV. Something that ended up hurting us, to be honest with you. So despite the thinking that, oh well, we're through, who cares about these games and the likes, look at it this way: if we had beaten PSV, then we might not have had to run into PSG the way that we had to. But all the same, this season under Arne Slot hopefully is going to be different. We started perfect in the league, 4 wins from 4 in the league. Every single one, a nail biter, all the same, sealed late. It's resilience, but it's also a risk. I openly admit that. It's not a way that you want to win. You prefer to win your games, but as long as you win them, I could care less how you do it. Juventus, Dortmund 2-2, big up. But Atletico, they stumbled out of the gate. They have no wins in 3 before finally beating Villarreal, who is taking place today. They beat them 2-0. Simeone's side are always disciplined. They're always rugged, but they lack. I think they lack the solidity that wants to find them. I don't know if it's because the players aren't connecting with Simeone. I know there was talks about Alvarez not really connecting with Simeone, regretting his choice of going to Madrid, especially with the opportunity of joining a Liverpool. But they have some key injuries. Alvarez has limped off the pitch. Robin Le Normand struggled. David Hanko went down for them. Those are 3 starters that are in doubt. Liverpool, meanwhile, we're flying high with our 4 straight wins. We have 14 straight home wins. Out of those 14 straight home wins, how many of those games do you think we scored 2 or more goals? Lee. What would be your guess? We have 14 straight home wins in Europe. How many of those games do you think we scored more than 2 goals?
3.
3. Oh, wow. Come on, bro. Come on. Yeah, I got you.
Bruh.
It would be. I don't know if anyone else is going to take a stab at that one. Out of the 14 straight home European wins, how many of those games have you scored 2 or more goals? I'll see if the chat can throw one in. Throw a Hail Mary. Right Armchair Supporter says 7. Okay. All right. See, I'll give it one more try. 3 and 7 are incorrect. I'll give you one more try for the chat. I'll give you one more try too, Lee, if you like.
Would it be 2 less than the highest option? So is the highest option 14?
Yes.
12.
All right.
I would say 12 times.
All right. Well, if you said 12, you'd be very close. It would be 13.
One short.
There's only been one game in that we haven't scored 2 or more goals in the game.
I'm pleased that Alvarez is out and these others are potentially out. I mean, that's if he is out, because you hear these stories sometimes and it's not always true, is it? Like there are players out. Yep. But it's always a bastard of a game against these. Like, it's always very competitive. And I suppose it's what we want. It's what we want right now, isn't it? Like, we want a high-level opponent who's going to test us, and we've got to show our mettle. So I think we can win. We can definitely win, but it won't be easy tomorrow night against these. That's the last thing it will be. But I think if we get a win, that could set us up then for the upcoming fixtures. And we could get into a bit of a groove then, like, as far as the season's concerned, because we got, 6 games before the next break? We've had one of them already. This will be the second one, but it gives us a bit of a chance to find some sort of rhythm, which we've not been able to do so far, because the international break cut us up just after we beat Arsenal.
Look, that the home advantage means something. I mean, the Anfield being a fortress, that energy matters. Let's be honest. There's some times when it has looked bleak, to say the least, and for some way, somehow, the energy is still flowing in that stadium. The players feel it. They dig down deep, and they pull out results. And Isak is expected to be in the squad for the first time since signing for his record signing. That is going to be great. He most likely will not start. I wouldn't mind seeing him start, but he's most likely not going to start. Alexi McAllister hopefully is rested enough to be a positive influence in this game. Jeremy Frimpong should be back at right back, I think, this week. He's gotten his entry in the last game. He should be or could be a starter in this game, which could free up Dominic to shift into the midfield. Tactically, I think it's going to be a fascinating mixture because of some of the injuries. I mean, for Atletico, they go in a 4-4-2. Oblak obviously is their main guy in goal. You have Griezmann, you have Sorloth up top, Gallagher offering energy wide, the former Chelsea man. And then you'll have, for us, our 4-2-3-1 of being Salah, Verts, Cody, behind Ekitike, with Isak as an impact option off the bench. I think that's what's going to be the real key. Key battles to watch in this game, in my perspective, is Isak versus Langlet. If the Swede gets minutes, can he bully Atletico's back line is the big question. Alvarez versus Konate, if fit. It's a duel of energy versus discipline. We can all never question Virgil van Dijk's leadership. Atletico will look for set pieces and quick breaks. We're going to have Virgil at his top level. That is what we expect. And then Almada's creativity. Can he be the unlock for Atletico? That is the big question. And look, recent history, Atletico had Liverpool's number early, but the Reds have flipped it with 2 wins in 2021, 4 straight victories over Spanish oppositions since that day. This one's a tough one. My prediction is 1-0. It may not be glamorous, but Slot's Reds have rediscovered defensive grit. I'm hoping. An injury hit Atletico may struggle to create. And I just think Liverpool's momentum and the home field advantage get them that goal. I don't know when it's going to come, or don't know when it's going to pause. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I hope that it's early rather than late. How about that? We don't need any cardiac arrest to get this one through. I know JK said 3-1 Liverpool. What's your prediction, Lee?
1-0 sounds sensible to me. Tight game, 1-0 sounds the most reasonable result.
Okay. I like how you've been cheating off of our papers lately, but okay, I got you.
No, 1-0 sounds about right to me against these rapscallions. The other Madrid team, they never give you much, do they? It's always a tight game. And we're not exactly warmed up at the moment, are we? We're coming to life slowly as a team. But yes, this has got 1-0 written all over it if we win.
Okay. Red Armchair supporter says 2-0 Liverpool. You can put your scores in there too. I'll include them. I did see that Dortmund has gone up 3-2 over Juventus, by the way.
I predicted that Dortmund would beat Juventus away earlier in the day.
Not over yet. It's not over yet. It's 2-2, by the way, in that Benfica game. And Spurs are still leading 1-0. But Hash has it 2-0 to us. Okay. Anyone else have any scores? Let's see. Nice. Looks like all my U.S. men's national team members are scoring today. Chris Richards has scored for Crystal Palace, 1-0. 1-0. All right, 1-0.
That's what we're going to do to Madrid tomorrow night. Sometimes 1-0 wins are the most satisfying, aren't they? Everyone likes to see goals, but winning 1-0 in a tight game, there's nothing quite like it, is there?
I guess.
I'd like to do that to Simeone tomorrow.
It depends on how it happens. I mean, if it's a 1-0 by known goal, something like that, where maybe they outperform us or outplay us, but yeah, we get lucky with the known goal.
Oh, they get lucky sometimes. They've got a bit of luck on them, Atletico.
Yeah. Yeah, what game? I'm trying to think of what. I was watching the Athletic, and they were going through some of their scores, or the way that they set up. The way that they set up their score prediction segment is interesting. They don't allow for their participants to pick the same score. So if someone picks 1-0, you have to pick something different. It's tough. It's pretty tough. But we're not doing that today. Let's say, Lee, Liverpool have four league wins and all have arrived late. Do you see that as resilience? And do you see that as something we will carry over to tomorrow? Or is that a red flag that Atletico could exploit if we don't finish our chances early tomorrow?
Yes, I do see it as resilience. Whether it'll bear any fruit tomorrow, being resilient right until the end, I don't actually know. But it's been a great feature of our first four matches, like that we've won them so late. I mean, I don't think my heart could take it if we did that all season long, but it has been fabulous. But it's just, a means to the end. Currently, we're not into our groove. We haven't got into our stride. Nobody has, like it's too early in the season. And we're waiting for players to gel and all that stuff. But yeah, the resilient part of it's really made me chuckle so far this season. To win games that late 4 times in a row was amusing, to say the least. But I don't want that, going forward. I don't mind it now and then, but I don't want it for dinner every week.
Okay. All right. The stuff of champions, Red Armchair Supporter is saying. I agree with that completely. It's what champions do. That's how I put it, at least. That's what I've been saying, at least on almost every chat or comment section that I can place that when people question how we've won our games and if we're lucky or not. Yes. By the way, I do have it 1-0. Who's your goal scorer? I'm not going to let you cheat off my page this time. So who's your goal scorer?
Okay, it's going to be someone exotic or someone fairly exotic. Okay, Ibu. Ibu's going to get one. Yeah, Ibu's going to win the game with us. I think what will happen is we'll get a corner. It'll go in. Virgil will go up. He's placed a header really nice. It hits the defender. Then it hits Ibu on the back of the arse and goes in. But it's Ibu's goal.
I'm not watching the Madrid game live. I only have it being updated in the on my app here. I saw Trudon just said Madrid penalty. Now, is that Madrid penalty on Madrid or penalty for Madrid, Trudon? I guess I could tune it in. I'm asking that because it looks like Madrid. Carvajal did get a red card, so I didn't know if that was what you were referencing or not. For Madrid. Ooh. That's unfortunate. Well, if Marseille loses this, that'll be unfortunate. They're doing well in this game.
It's that strange thing with Madrid this season because Xavi's in charge now. You don't want him to suffer, but at the same time, you do want Madrid to suffer. So
yes.
It's one of them, isn't it? No.
Yeah.
Make them suffer, but not too much. Keep the suffering down to an acceptable level because Xavi's in charge.
Okay. It looks like you are going to get your prediction, by the way, Lee. Now, Mbappe just threw that in. 2-1, Real Madrid. 2 penalty goals in this game for Madrid. I'd have to see this game on replay to see if they're warranted. Trudon, you can tell us in the chat if you thought that Real Madrid deserved their 2 penalties.
I reckon at least one of them was badly fake and generous. Come on.
Yes.
It's Real Madrid. At least one of their 2 penalties.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that one. But I was going to say Dortmund up 4-2, by the way. 4-2 in the 88th minute against Juventus. Wow. Juventus at home, by the way. What a tragedy. Tottenham 1-0 still over Villarreal. 2-2 Benfica, 86th minute. And as we said before, 2-1 Real Madrid over Marseille in the 82nd minute, I believe it is. 82nd minute. I put this up earlier because this is very interesting. This is our friends at Opta that do Opta analysis, that do the supercomputer rundowns on percentages and the likes of who are the odds-on favorite to do this or do that. Liverpool have the best predicted chance of making the quarterfinals at 73%. 68%. Arsenal coming in at second. 58% goes to PSG. 55% to City. 51% to Barcelona, tied with Chelsea. And then Real Madrid, Bayern, Inter. And surprisingly, out of this group, Newcastle have a 33% chance of making the quarterfinals. That's a great shout for Newcastle, by the way. Great shout.
I predicted Dortmund would win 3-1 at Juventus, but they're outdoing themselves. 4 goals have gone in.
Yeah, 4 to the Juventus is 2.
I thought that,
my goodness, by the way, Benfica at home is now losing to Karabakh.
The Karabakh. It's a funny name. It sounds like carrier bag to me.
Yeah.
You say carrier bag.
3-2 in that game, by the way. 3-2. They were up 2-0 in this game. They were up 2-0 early, and now have relinquished 3 goals to this away club, and now see themselves down in the 89th minute, 3-2.
Didn't Sheriff Tiraspol win at Madrid last season early on? They won at Real Madrid, or was it the season before?
I think so.
It's one of those funny names as well, isn't it? Like Karabakh, Sheriff Tiraspol.
Sheriff, I think it was, right?
Yeah. I forget what country they're from, Sheriff Tiraspol, but that result made me laugh. Like that he managed to win at the Bernabeu.
But yes, it is good to see. We still have the highest likelihood of making the semifinal. And if you do look at this, it looks like Liverpool are predicted 34% percentage chance of making the final, 28% chance of Arsenal making the final. And then we have a 20% chance of being the winner. I believe that's a 16% chance for Arsenal to be the winner, and PSG at 12%. So that's according to the supercomputer. It's a very interesting that they would have it like that. But let us see. It's a very big question. Is this according to the supercomputer that PSG is not the favorite in this? Maybe to certain
Yeah, I don't see them as the favourite. Just like in my computer brain, it isn't going to happen. I don't think a retention of the trophy from PSG is not on the cards in my supercomputer brain.
You heard it here first. Lee's supercomputer brain says, wait.
Because PSG will not retain the trophy. It's a hard task to do. Not many clubs down the years have done it. And PSG, for one, I don't think are going to.
Well, let me see. Let me just wait. Let me type in some. All right, let's type in that question to your supercomputer, and what's it say?
It says nah.
Well, I'm still inestimably peeved about our Cup Winners' Cup semi-final against PSG in the mid-90s. We've been starved. We haven't been in Europe at all, hardly, and we got to a semi-final, and they put paid to us. The funny bit was they got to the final with Barcelona, but got battered. But that hurt me. That wounded me.
Okay. Well, you heard the computer. It says no. All right. Well, we've gone a little shy of 2 hours, but 15 over our allotted 90-minute show here. It's been a pleasure to host JK and as always, our Red Lantern. Lee, Scouse Lee in the house, Scouse in the house. Big up to both of you for joining me today. It does make a difference when I have members of the Justice Gang here doing some noble things, which is bringing you some valuable content, hopefully. At least that's what you see it as. But I would love to hear who your predictions are in the comments. Definitely tell us who you think we got right or who we got wrong on our predictions. Drop a score if you like. Definitely drop a scorer predictions in the comments on who you think is going to get some goals for us this Wednesday. It'd be much appreciated. And I guess other than that, I mean, look, 6 Premier League clubs ready for European battle. One of which has already gotten a result, the other which is on the verge of getting their result. And then tomorrow we'll have others embarking on their European journeys along with ourselves. So it should be a good one. It's kind of cool. I like it when, we've gotten through the international break and now we're already into the stage where we have a league game, and then we have Champions League, and then we have another league game, or we'll have a league game, Champions League game, and then we have a League Cup game, and then we have another league game. It's going to start getting a little fast and furious, Vin Diesel style for us here. So that's something that we can all anticipate great things for. 4-3, by the way, Juventus has clawed one back in that game. But other than that, all the other scores remain the same. Lee, is there something you wanted to bring up or something you wanted to talk about? Did you want to maybe tell us maybe a key player of the week across the English sides that we didn't mention, or, whatever you want to talk about before we bounce? No? Red Lantern? Oh. You there, Lee?
Sorry, mate. I had to
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I had to empty the old
okay.
thingy.
You don't have to say it. I got you. And
oh, do you want a song? Armchair wants a song. I did it last night, didn't I? The Liverpool FA Cup song from '86.
That you did.
I won't tonight. I won't hurt people's ears tonight, but I thought it was great. That song, I liked it. Like, the words were quite plain and simple, but it was a good laugh because I was only a child at the time. Like, brilliant stuff.
Okay.
Look it up yourself. Like, just type into Google Liverpool 1986 FA Cup song and listen to it and see if you get a laugh out of it. It really made me laugh anyway. Brilliant.
Yeah. Dude, well, I don't know if you're gonna get a song out of Lee or not.
Liverpool, proud to call your name. You've touched our hearts, and now we're part of Liverpool. Oh, how we love to sing. And then there was like trombones and that, and it got all funky.
Trombones and stuff, right? Yeah. Yeah. There you go. 4-4, by the way. Juventus have just tied it up. Benfica lose 2-3, by the way. 4-4. Spurs have won their game 1-0. Juventus is knotted up. 8 goals in that game. Wow, what a game. Real Madrid still holding on to 2-1. Well, you got a song. Hopefully you'll hit that like button for the song alone. people. I mean, where else do you get that kind of content? We'll have to have Lady B on with Lee one day to do a duet. Both of them love singing, so we'll have to have them do a duet sometime soon. Hopefully, we get the pleasure of that happening. However, defending is so last year, it certainly is. Brothers and sisters of my Reds, please do hit that like button. Please do come back and bring a friend to bring a friend to bring another friend. Subscribe if you haven't. Lee, stick around for a quick second before you bounce. We will see you mañana for a roll call, and then it's on to our Champions League journey together. So hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. And if we don't, still be safe and continue to know that you'll always have someone along with you for this walk, because you'll never walk alone is definitely in our hearts. And until then, up the Reds, my people, up the Reds. Take care.